Welcome our listeners to yet another exciting episode of Lead Talk TV and Lead Talk podcast. We are absolutely excited to welcome you again, this time on a journey that we've been talking about lately. It's a journey of helping you to achieve your dream. And the reason why we're doing this is we would like to make your transition from employment to private coaching and consulting business a smooth journey. And as usual, we'd like to thank you for sticking it out with us for 25 episodes so far. It just started yesterday, but we're so
Yes,
excited that,
yes,
God Silva, we've done 25 episodes and today is the 26th episode. So welcome, and this is for you, our dear listener. Again, I would like to welcome my co-host and co-founder, Coach Shilpa. I totally appreciate your contribution here, your
same here. Same here.
selflessness, your selflessness on this show, the research you've been able to give, so that together we've combined our efforts and really pushed forward 25 episodes, quarter of a
Yes.
century, right? Pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
excited. Yes.
absolutely. Welcome, welcome all. We have already done a silver celebration for 25th episode, and thank you. I appreciate you so much, Dr. Gerard,
Yes.
because without your inspiration and without your consistency on showing up and inspiring me to show up, I think this is fantastic journey.
Yes.
And we really acknowledge and we dedicate this journey to you, our listeners and our
Mm.
audience. And we also encourage you to be more engaged with us, be more with us, because we can promise you one thing: this is
Mm.
just the beginning, and there is so much coming on your way. I can't even explain what is there in the store. And I would also like to mention, like, please go back to the previous episodes in case you have not been, or those who have come to us for the first time,
Yes.
and download and subscribe all the insights we have provided, and also share our channel with your loved ones, with your
Mm.
near and dear ones, so that they can also benefit in their life, in the career transition, business success, and becoming a high impact coach and consultant.
Yes.
And I would also like to make some few mentions today, Dr. Gerald, of our previous interviews, the fantastic interactions by Coach Razmik on successful career transition, by
Mm.
Emma Matthews defeating burnout as professional,
Mm.
Simona Boldrini for high ticket sales, Dave Sethi, who is a founder and he gave insights on wealth on command,
Mm.
Tammy Alvarez for loving your Mondays, and Chuck Kanabush,
Absolutely.
the recently released episode on
Yeah.
bulletproofing your business.
Yeah.
And they have also given the special bonuses and gifts in the previous episode by
Yes.
all these experts just for you. So make most of it and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So I again invite you on this today's journey where we talk about a very interesting topic today. So over to you,
Absolutely.
Kojara.
Oh, beautiful. I just love the accolades you're giving our special guests. Again, listener, just go back, and if you're new here, go back, subscribe, and listen to the golden nuggets that our expert coaches, consultants, and business owners have shared. And we'll continue to be on this journey as we go to the second part of 100 episodes. You see, now the first quarter we've covered. So now this is 26. And so in today's session, we welcome you to discuss something very important. As you know, the world is going through transition. Big companies are laying off staff, expert staff, good people, people who have a lot of information, people who have knowledge, not because they're bad, but because the economy cannot sustain them. And so, as our contribution to the universe, we would like to put ourselves out there to help you, service professionals, experts, to be
Yes.
able to transition meaningfully. And
Hmm.
so we want to create this, we are creating this episode so that we share with you our own experience of transition, where we came from the world of corporate employment. And right now we are growing in the world of private entrepreneurship, where we are serving in the capacity of coaching and consulting. And so we are going to discuss 7 important steps that helped us. Some of them we discovered accidentally, some of them our mentors taught us, and
Yes.
they have been important to help us make this transition from employment to coaching and consulting practice. So this episode, Coach Silpa, would say, if I think about it, like when I started my own journey, it's it's intended to help the listener gain
Yes.
clarity of what it really means to move from being an experienced professional service provider, maybe as a doctor, as a banker, as a finance advisor, as an insurance broker, whatever your professional background is, this program is supposed to open ways for you to transition from that to being a consultant, to being a coach, and building a meaningful business out of that. So we are going to go really deep into the step-by-step approach that will help you make this dream a reality. I know for many times, every morning, maybe sometimes when you're driving to work or if you go by train, however you are going, you're thinking, I wish I was doing my own business, right? So this is
Yeah.
the beginning. So we are trying to open this opportunity for you so that you can transition from full-time employment to being a full-time coach and consultant on your terms. And if you're one of those people who has been laid off or who has been made redundant for the post-COVID situation, then this show is also for you because then you can kind of say, okay, I have these skills, I have these things. Maybe this is the journey I should take. So we are super excited to share with you our own experience. I would like you to take plenty of notes. So listen in. We are really on a mission, as I mentioned before, to make this transition journey much easier for you. I know, Coach
Wonderful.
Silpa, you have gone through this.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So, I take it away. Why are we on this
Yes.
trip? Yeah.
Yes, so beautifully summarized. And also, listeners, like you may also ask why we are on so much keen on this. You may ask, like
Mm-hmm.
the answer is very simple. Our transition journey cost us so much money, time, and we learned on a hindsight that the journey would have been less convoluted if we had someone to take us by hand and show
Mm-hmm.
us the ropes and the
Yeah.
right tools and the right way and the right
Mm-hmm.
sequence of the steps, right?
Yeah.
So we are here to help you to have a safe landing and
Mm-hmm.
also an enjoyable, sustainable journey.
Yeah.
So whether you are a seasoned coach or just starting out, or you are an expert considering to pursue coaching or consulting as your second career or a lifetime career now onwards, this
Mm-hmm.
episode will is aiming to provide you with valuable insights and tips
Yeah.
so that you can build a highly scalable, satisfying coaching business in your area of expertise. So we invite you to lean in, grab a pen and notebook, and get ready to take steps and the notes which can
Mm-hmm.
make you help this transition from full-time employment to coaching and consultancy. And the journey also has to be easy and enjoyable. So this is what we have in our mind. But let me start by asking this question to our own selves, is that why did
Mm-hmm.
we even choose this particular topic of transitioning from being an employee or from employment to establishing a personal business, and what could be the benefits of making such transition from a job to specifically coaching and consulting business? So let's explore, Dr. Gerard.
Beautiful. I like really the second part of you saying we are out to make this journey enjoyable and easy,
Yes.
right? Because we didn't
Yes.
get it easy. Nobody was there to kind of hold our hands, right? And so
Yeah.
the best we can do is make it easy for those coming after us. And like Coach Silpa, you mentioned, um, why are we into this? Now,
Mm-hmm.
before I even kind of give in why we're into this, more information, is I like to start with our tradition. Our tradition on this
Yes.
episode is always start with the quote of the week. And so the quote, listeners, of this week comes from the work of Tony Gaskins. And
Mm-hmm.
what Tony mentioned is that if you don't build your own dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs.
Wow. Say it again, please.
Tony Gaskin says, if you don't build your own dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs. Now,
Beautiful.
I
Yes.
want to ask, thank you, Coach Shilpa. I want to ask you as you listen to us, how many dreams have you been invited to build? Who is building the dream in your heart? As a young man, as a young lady, I'm sure you had dreams at some point. Where did those dreams go? And who is there to build those dreams except you, right? So you know the answer is you. And so one of the key reasons on this podcast why we want to share the benefits of making this transition called Shilpa is, you see, if we can transition from employment to coaching as an expert, this will allow the expert to make the most of their expertise and knowledge. You see,
Mm-hmm.
for most corporate offices, you just work as an accountant, you work as a driver, you work as a doctor. Usually, people don't work the full range of their capacities. It kind of they put you in a box and define you by the job description, what the document called job description. So you kind of become dehumanized
Yeah. Yeah.
because they don't even consider whether you know how to sing or dance, whether you are good with speeches, whatever. They don't. It's just you came to this company, your job is an accountant, so they give you the accounting software, the computers and the books, and that's all. So the other parts of you get ignored, so which means your knowledge and expertise don't get utilized. So if you remain in that area, what's going to happen is, as a senior professional, you will be
Mm-hmm.
made redundant. And yet, if you chose coaching and consulting, you could actually make use of your knowledge and expertise. Some of it is inborn almost for the next 10
Mm.
to 15 or 25 years, depending on what age you want to transition, right? So you almost have a quarter of a century of
Mm.
you putting your knowledge and expertise out there if you opted for coaching and consulting, because you can do it as part-time, you can do it when you want to do it, but it's important that you do it. So in a way, if I'm to use the supermarket example, you would be prolonging your shelf life. Isn't that cool? Who doesn't
Very,
want
very
to?
cool. Very cool. Very cool. What a beautiful concept. And yeah, and absolutely. Also, as you said, it is the fear of being redundant can be
Yes,
handled in a most empowering way if we
yes.
think about this journey. And we all
Mm,
have seen that it's always that career transition sometimes happens by choice and
mhm.
sometimes happens by situation.
Exactly.
And we should not wait for situation or the forced choices in our life, and
Yes,
that's what we call being future ready. And
yes.
secondly, also,
Mm,
Dr. Gerald, when you transition from employment to become an independent coach or consultant, you move away from this traditional 9 to 5 job and
mm.
you get to be yourself. You
True.
develop your own style.
Yeah,
You get to create an impact,
yeah.
mentor others,
True.
coach them, take them through the journey which you have taken with faster
Exactly.
speed, save their time, save their
Exactly.
efforts,
Yeah.
and make them contribute more.
Yeah.
That way, you are also contributing to the growth and development of the field which you are in already. Right? You suddenly take on a very expanded role, and this allows you to be more and then serve more. And most experienced professionals find this opportunity also more rewarding and
Mhm.
satisfying, very fulfilling. Because as we grow in life, we have seen in one of the episode, like what could be the next level in life, right? And
Exactly.
after a struggle and stability and success, we always look for fulfillment and significance. So this considering this option would open the doors, wide doors to this fulfillment and significance in life as well.
Oh,
Yes, Dr.
wow.
Gerard.
I love that. Just talking about significance and real opening the doors. The last episode, if you ladies and gentlemen, if you did not listen to episode 25, please go back and listen to it. In that, the guest Chuck Kanabos
Mhm.
mentioned that at his age right now, the thing that fulfills him most is his coaching
Mhm.
and consulting. where he's able
Yes.
to help businesses
Hmm.
actually cut down on expenses. He's able to increase the productivity. And for him, it's beyond money at this point in his career. And so, if you are able to transition from
Hmm.
employment to your own consulting and coaching, you get, as Coach Silva mentioned, you get to reap the benefit of the next level, right?
Yes.
Of really giving back to the community. So, with that
Yes.
said, one of the things, and probably the third, I would say, reason why it's important for somebody to move called Silpa is that when you become a consultant, when you become a coach, rather than hanging on the job, it significantly increases your income ability. You see, many times, and this is because probably our school system has kind of messed us up. It kind of gives the impression that it's only in paid employment that we get financial security. How far away from the truth could that be?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the truth of the matter, there's actually nothing called job security. It is an
Hmm.
illusion. And Coach Shilpa, I'm sure I do remember you mentioned this in one of the episodes where you said
Yes.
job security as we define it today is an
Hmm.
illusion because you could be the best employee, but the company will fold. The managers, the top level managers can sell it out and then you are made redundant overnight. What happens? So job security as we know it doesn't exist. And so when you have your independent practice as a coach, as a consultant, your knowledge still keeps almost the same. However, you have an avenue where you can use your knowledge and get paid for that. And so by being an
Hmm.
independent coach or consultant, it gives you the opportunity to increase your income substantially. Because then, as an expert in your space, it could be banking, it could be insurance, it could be into higher education, it could be in whatever field it is, as long as you're an
Hmm.
expert in that, you actually get to charge your worth. And then
Yes.
the interesting thing, Coach Shilpa, you being in corporate for almost 30 years, you know that in the corporate world, we don't actually get paid our value. The companies pay us almost, if we are lucky, half of your true value it
Mhm.
gets paid. But most people get paid less. But when you build your own coaching consulting practice, you get to charge what you believe you're worth. Because as an expert, you can deliver all kinds of ranges of service. But at the job, you're almost forbidden to exercise some of your skills because they say that's not your area. This is not your area. Your area is this. Stick to your
Hmm.
lane, right? And this is how the corporate world works. And it's so unfortunate that people get underpaid for the expertise, for their knowledge. So in your job, your earning, as you know, gets capped by the amount of your monthly salary or the bonus you get. But if you are to build your own coaching consulting business that we will talk later on how we can help you, you get to become the business owner. And so guess who sets the income of the business owner? You. You are the
Yes.
owner. So
Yes.
Coach Silva, take
Absolutely.
it away. What else would
Yeah.
you advise if necessary
Yeah,
for us to
that's a
transition?
wonderful reason, because then you are actually taking charge of your future, right?
Yes.
And fourth and yet critically important reason I would want to add here is that for this transition, that you get to stay current and connected with your industry, not becoming redundant ever, while
Mm.
ensuring that you always remain relevant in your field, you always remain in demand in your field. And also, this change is not, sometimes when people change career, their previous experience is disregarded and they feel these many years of experience and knowledge, which is very ripe and which is very, very valuable, is now
Mm.
not applicable. But here, when you convert your expertise into your consulting and coaching business, then all this, what you have done all throughout these years, is also going to help you in your future journey.
Mm,
And in this way, your functionality is not limited to whether you're employed or not employed. And
mm,
this is important because as a coach or consultant, you are in a private business and you keep serving your clients whenever you want, to whatever length you want in your career. And this allows you to always remain current and relevant in your field. Also, your knowledge keeps getting updated and it
mm.
also gets available to not only the people in one organization, but to extend beyond. So there are no limits. As you said, Coach Gerald, the cap is removed, right?
I
So
love
I think
that.
that is also the fourth and very critical reason.
Yes, I love just to build on that. And as you said, the cap, as you made that gesture, it kind of occurred to me that yes, because in the job we actually have a cap, literally like
Hmm.
a cap on top of our glass, right? And that
Yes.
stops us from breathing. Now, with the online education revolution that's going on,
Hmm.
if you're living in the US, you have the entire United States and the globe as your field of coaching clients and consulting clients. If you are way out in India, you can serve the West, you can serve Europe, you can serve the nations in Oceania region. So
Yeah.
just see, but which job would you do where you have clients internationally? Extremely few. But in the coaching and consulting space, as long as you're seasoned professional, you have the opportunity to get clients from around the world. And in a way, like Coach Silpa, we talked about this, you make your income recession proof because then you have this high income skill that helps you to serve over and over. Whether there's an epidemic in your continent, you can provide service via internet to another continent where there's probably no epidemic or all this kind of geopolitical crises that keep hitting our countries here and there.
Yes. Yes. So true. So now that we have discussed about the benefits of having this transition, right? Let us
Mm.
now talk about what are the key steps a person should take to make the transition smooth and successful. So what would you want to start with?
Yeah, so Coach Silpa, this is an interesting thing. Just coming out of why we need to transition. So specifically, as you know, you and me, we went through this experience, right? Most people find making this transition quite
Hmm.
challenging. It's actually
Yes.
daunting thinking about it because let's face it, the corporate world is a place of comfort. You've been
Yeah.
there comfortably sitting on your sofa for 30 years, 25 years. It's not easy getting off that sofa, right?
Not at
And
all.
so, so, however, the good news is that you can significantly increase your chances of success by following these 7 steps that we will be sharing with you. And we are really excited to share this with you. And when you follow these steps, we are sure you will be able to set yourself up for success in the coaching and
Yes.
consulting industry. And so, Coach
Yes.
Silpa, I would like to invite you to
Yeah.
start sharing the steps. What would be the first 2 steps?
Okay, sure. So step
Mm,
one is absolutely, it always starts with your own self, right? So
yes.
assessing your current skills, qualification, knowledge, expertise, and how you might be able to deploy them in a business so that you can keep adding value to people.
Mm,
It may be to people, to the organizations, to the
mm,
community, right? And
yeah.
identifying that knowledge, experience, and expertise and the skills you possess to help, that can help you become a successful coach and a consultant. Why?
Mm,
Because first you know your power,
yeah.
you understand yourself well, and you assess where is that exactly I would want to contribute and add value in this world,
Mm,
which is that my place, right? So that is the first step of assessing and going on a journey of little deeper self discovery and
mm,
understanding and gathering that value, right?
yes.
Collaborating and consolidating that value.
Yes.
And then the next step would be to develop a comprehensive business plan that caters to the various aspects of coaching.
Mm,
Because
mm,
anytime when you're going to get in a business, it's very important to treat it like a business and not
Yes,
like an expensive hobby, right? So
exactly.
coaching practices like any other business which requires planning, strategy. It could include your budget, your learning curve, your marketing strategies, inviting your potential client, finding them, and also then actually delivering what you are here for. So I feel the step one of assessing what value you can deliver, and secondly creating and building your plan, business model around it. These two things are going to be the starting steps
Hmm.
for your coaching and consulting journey. It will also help you to get a clear direction
Yeah.
on how my journey looks like and step on next step with more confidence.
I love that. I love that. And so once you are clear, and I like the fact that you mentioned the first is you need to be crystal clear. Who am I? Right? This is what you mentioned, self
Yeah.
discovery, right? Who am I?
Yes.
What can I do? What are my expertise? What's my qualification? What are my skills? Then you have a plan. Because one of the previous episodes we talked about that if you do not have a plan, you are planning to fail, right? So it's obvious. So
Yes.
it becomes your business becomes an expensive hobby. I like this. I like what you said. And so the third step, our listener, after one developing, knowing yourself, two developing a
Yeah.
comprehensive business plan, is to begin to become crystal clear about
Yeah.
who your target audience is. Now, this is important, Coach Silva, because
Yeah.
as we help our clients, normally one of the things in our coaching sessions, we try to get crystal clear who are you able to serve, right? So we want
Yes.
our clients to identify their target audience. And this could, for some, it could be an organization. Some people say, no, for me, I don't want to deal with people, right? I want to deal with the corporate one. I'm a
Yeah.
corporate coach. I consult with corporate bodies, right?
Yes.
Some may say, no, I don't want corporate bodies. I want small or medium sized businesses. So that could be your set of clients. Some people say, no, I don't want businesses. I want
Yes.
families. Okay.
Yes.
So my expertise, for instance, I deal with, I set of people who are experiencing strained relationship between husband and wife or parents and children. That's my area
Hmm.
of expertise. So you go there and we help you to go in that area. But some people can say, no, I just want couples. That is my cup of tea, right? So
Yes.
regardless of your cup of tea, some people say, no, I don't want all those. I go for individuals. I want to help professionals who are so and so, right? So you can see we help in step three you to be clear whom you want to
Hmm.
serve, whether it is one person or it is a big organization, a multi-million organization. And so after you're clear with this, Coach Shilpa, one of the things from our own experience that we would like to share, I think, is in step four, normally we encourage our people, our clients to begin to become known. And
Yes.
and and I know we always joke about this. Many times coaches become the best secret, the best kept secret, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
and
We've seen that stage in our life, right? Where we were the best kept secret and we kept adding value to our own self without people knowing it. So that doesn't help
exactly.
anyone.
It helps no one. It doesn't help you, it doesn't help your family, it doesn't help the community. So step four, we make step four an antidote of this common
Hmm.
mistake that many professionals make. Good engineer, good doctor, good architect, good
Hmm.
lawyer, but your goodness is only known by your family and your colleagues at the workplace. So in step four, we want you to establish your online presence for your coaching and consulting services. People should know you. It's like if you are a doctor and you've discovered the antidote for a new disease that has been ravaging big time communities, and
Yeah.
you keep
Yeah.
quiet about that medicine, what kind of doctor would you be? Obviously, people would blame you that how come you didn't tell us? So if you're a coach and consultant material. You're an expert in something that you know would bring value. In step four, we do encourage you to build a presence so people get to know who you are. And this could include creating like a website or a blog, social media accounts, or different things that as we go along, we would be able to share with you. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
these are the things
absolutely.
I
Like
wanted to
even
mention.
yeah,
Yes.
this is beautiful. And I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that the coaches and consultants should not remain the best kept secret, and, they should be made known. So you're talking
Yes.
about visibility, right? So like
Yes.
we are doing a podcast, like somebody can start with that
Yes.
within your area of expertise,
Yes.
because otherwise how the right people and your client will find you, and how would they get value from you if they're not able to even see you, right? So
Exactly.
these two are very, very critical steps, identifying your target audience and then building an online presence so that you reach them, you're visible to them, you come into their consciousness, right? And
Exactly.
then the step five I would recommend is start building that visibility and
Yes.
start networking so that you can expand your zone of influence and
Yes.
connect with potential clients, other coaches, your community, so that
Mhm.
you simultaneously learn about your business, you
Yes.
are updated in your industry, and also while you are connected with your potential clients, start adding value to them upfront, right? This
Yes.
includes attending network events, being a part of various groups,
Mm.
conferences, meetings, and as you already mentioned, the social media. Social
Mm.
media is going to be such a big leverage to you to start networking with the right people. It's not just
Mm.
expanding the list of people in your social media, but connecting with relevant and right people.
Yeah.
So that's step number five. And step number six is obviously after that, developing a marketing strategy to attract potential clients and build your brand,
Yes.
because your brand is going to give them the confidence and that trust so that they want to connect with you. And
Yes.
then you can start having the pull sales or the conversations where people
Mm.
can reach out to you and say, hey, I see that you are helping these kind of people to get rid of this disease, or you
Mhm.
help them to give them best productivity in their life, save number of
Mm.
hours in their life, in the
Mm.
organization, save manpower. Like, so everything starts working once you have a marketing strategy,
I love
right?
that.
So having that marketing strategy to attract potential clients and also building your strong brand. This could also like creating your lead magnets, your brochures, your flyers, your advertising, and also giving value on your best social media accounts,
Mm.
because that is also a kind of marketing strategy. But how to leverage that and how to use that so that people start believing you, because trust, building trust upfront is going to be the most advantageous factor in your journey,
I love
right?
that.
And having said that, then the set number seven, Coach Gerard is absolutely taking that leap of faith, taking the plunge
I
and
like that.
starting your coaching and consulting business. So it's no point like you preparing for everything and finally not taking that one decisive step to start and start doing the work, start being out there and actually
Mm.
launch your coaching business, start with the potential clients you can have and start serving so that you also grow as a coach and consultant,
I love
because
that.
without implementation there is no growth coming from any of the strategies.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is, I just love the way you took away this last segment about step five, step six, and step seven, and you mentioned two important things,
Yeah,
about branding,
yeah.
and I know this is some area that many people are like, but branding is for companies. What do you
Hmm.
mean as a coach, as a doctor? How do I brand myself, right? Could you speak
Yeah.
a little bit about branding
Yeah, sure,
company?
sure, sure. So as we always guide our clients, Dr. Gerald, is that whether you recognize or you know or accept or not, you still are a brand. You are known as someone, right?
True.
Now you may be known as a general manager, or somebody who takes action, or somebody who takes right decision, or somebody who procrastinates, whatever is the branding for you right now,
Mhm.
right? But building that consciously is very important, and that's where the personal branding comes in a way, because unless and until you have a brand, you are not able to tell people what is that at your core, what is that they
Wow.
should view you as, what
Wow.
is that you want to be known as. Because
Mm.
if you don't decide what you want to be known as, somebody else is going to put that label on you.
Wow, I love that. So, in a way, you are saying, Coach Shilpa, that branding is the name, the attribute, is the self-image people have about you, right?
Yes, absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely, and that will take
yes.
you further than you can physically reach.
And you are, by implication, you're saying if you don't actively pursue, like put in the people's mind how they should perceive you, they can put any image of you in their minds. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And people will just keep building your brand in their mind from one or two rare instances or one or two experiences. It's not intentional. So the branding has to be intentional. Also, it has to always be guide our clients, that it has to align with who you are at the core. And that's when your brand shines. And that's where you are distinguished in the market.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. And this was quite intriguing. And when I remember my own journey, branding was something that was kind of foreign to me. I had this false illusion that branding was for big businesses, but like as you've illustrated, for those who are kind of still having that confusion, branding is every person's responsibility, from what Coach Silpa has mentioned, because if you do not say who you are,
Yeah.
they will say who you are. They will define you. So your moral responsibility is to introduce yourself as a coach. That I am a diet coach, I'm a dating coach, I am a health coach, I am what kind of coach? I'm a consultant for ABCD. So it's not people to come to you, but then you have to take them to them the good news about you, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
here I am, I can help you overcome this challenge, right? So that's beautiful. And I want Coach Silva, I thank you again for really explaining that beautifully. And as we're talking behind the stage, one of the things we talked about is like, okay, a number of you have reached out to us and say, okay, but how can you help us? We know you are big on the issue of helping professionals transition. So how can you help us to make this transition from employment to establishing our
Mm-hmm.
own coaching consulting business? And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things I would like to share, as you asked me, is that we we've gone in this journey
Mm-hmm.
through hardship. We spent a lot
Yes.
of money, we spent a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time taken away from our loved ones. And so reflecting back, this is something we want to make it easier on you. And
Yeah.
one of the key things we would like to mention is that knowing that it took us this leap of faith, it would have been much easier if somebody held our hand. And so in the early days, we struggled a lot and we don't want this to kind of perpetuate, right? So one of
Yes.
the things we see ourselves helping you when you are beginning that transition and say, okay, I think there's a point here. I don't need to depend totally on my job, but now I see that I could offer service, professional service,
Yes.
in my area of expertise. So one of the things, then when we start working together, one of the things we're going to start with you working together is help you to become clear about your niche. By niche, we mean the people you're going to serve, because you cannot serve everybody, right?
Right.
We
Right.
because we know a coach or consultant who serves everybody serves
Hmm.
nobody.
Hmm.
Because who is everybody? Nobody.
Yeah. Nobody is.
Yes. So we
So
want you
true.
to say, I serve,
Mm-hmm.
couples stay together. Or I help couples who are going out. to have this kind of situation. I help children have this. I help people who are experiencing health challenges to go, maybe to lose weight. Maybe I help people to go vegan or whatever it is. But you need to have a particular group of people who are struggling with a particular problem, and we help you to get clear with that. And I can promise you, Coach Shilpa would absolutely hold your hands in this area. You will
Yeah.
just take it to the next level. And the second thing, Coach Shilpa, is as you mentioned, is working with us. We would help you build what we call irresistible offer. Now, as a person who is going into this world of coaching, irresistible offer is something that you would want to know more about. And in the
Yes.
coming weeks, we definitely mention more what it means and what it involves. And this is something we can definitely help you with, so that once you're clear with your niche, you're clear with your offer, then we help you into the process step by step until you build a successful coaching business. We will also help you to learn how to sell. Now, this may be very uneasy for many of you. You say, but me, I'm a university professor, I'm a doctor, I don't know how to sell, right? Now, most people fear sales.
Yes.
We understand that. And this is why we are here. So we are going to help you learn how to sell in a non-pushy way, so that you don't come across as cheap, as desperate, as the bad name associated with
Yes.
roadside
Yes.
salespeople. No, you're not going to come up like that. We're going to show you techniques and principles that when you apply, you almost sell without selling. Now,
Wow,
there,
that's
there are many
beautiful.
things we do. Yes, Coach Silpa. Just
Yes.
explain to our audience what other help we can give them
Yes.
to make their journey smooth.
Yes, and beautifully you summed up three important things of identifying your niche area where you would be
Mm,
the best value to the people, and how you can exactly help them to solve this specific problem, building
mm,
an irresistible offer so that without an offer you don't even have a business, and
mm,
how to then sell that offer in a very non-salesy, pushy, or a desperate way, which
mm,
we are most scared of when we are working in the corporates, right? And then also, how next step we help people is how to market yourself as an expert,
mm,
how to build that positioning in the market, that
mm,
people already know, oh, okay, I'm having this relationship issue, or I'm having a health issue, but I do not want to follow a very strict or rigid diet, or
mm,
I'm having a business where I'm struggling with productivity or marketing, then I should be going to this person. And in the
mm,
same way, I'm in a personal development space, but I'm feeling underconfident. How
mm,
do I create that thing for me? Then people relate that you are the person defining your niche. So marketing yourself as that an expert in these particular areas, or any of you have,
mm.
we help you do that, because that's when the right people come to you. It's not that flood of things coming to you, it's right people coming to you, right? For those whom you can actually help and add value. Then
Yes.
building a coaching business, because it has various components, like you will have your product, you will have the structure for your product, you will have the tools and the supplements for your product.
Mm.
Also, one more thing is how to actually deliver your knowledge, how to
Yes.
actually deliver your expertise. Most of the people are fantastic when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to experience, when it comes to wisdom, but
Mm.
sometimes delivering it to somebody else and getting that change and transformation from someone else is also a critical skill. And that's where we help people with this high impact and high income skill of
Mm.
impact coaching and consultancy. So we help you do that as well, so you can deliver with confidence. And then next, last but not the least, once you start having that client and that confidence and that clarity and
Mm.
get things rolling, how to then scale this up and start building a legacy so that your business keeps running all the way on its own, and also you finding it very seamlessly operating your business while you contribute to the world your best value.
Yeah.
So these are these and many other things around this are very, very critical, because once you say identifying your niche, it's a very small line, but a lot of efforts go in. I personally struggle for 7 months to
Yeah.
identify my niche. So I see that pain. I understand that pain. I have seen how sales looks very, very overwhelming, and how to take out that overwhelm from the process. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, write to us at leadtalkpodcast@gmail.com,
Mm,
and a member of our team will reach out to you and schedule a call, so we understand where you want our help best, at
mm,
least to get you started, so that there are no roadblocks in your coaching consulting journey. And we can do this one on one, or as a part of our group coaching program, the High Impact Coach Accelerator program, which we have
mm,
launched. And we
mm,
will be also keeping the doors open for some more time, so
mm.
that right people can be part of it, because we know that your expertise and knowledge is underestimated by your own self sometimes, and we don't want you to let that do to your own self. There
I,
is a seed of coaching empire within you, and we would do our best to flourish that skill and make this a big empire for you. Over to you, Kojal.
I love that. I just building on the last point. We know, as Coach Silpa mentioned, there is a seed of a coaching
Mhm.
empire in you,
Yes.
and knowing what nature, what our environment did to many of us as you listen to us, would like you to think about the dreams you had as a child, as a young girl, as a young boy.
Yeah.
Many of you had very big dreams, but along the way, you lost those dreams. Your
Yeah.
dreams shrunk, and you just, as we speak now, you identify yourself as an accountant, as a teacher, as a driver, as whatever it is, right? But we know that same spirit is there in you. That ambition, its surprise is not dead. So, using our expertise that we've gained over the years in helping a number of clients, I know, and Coach Shilpa knows, we are very confident that we can help you get this seed and grow it into the empire of coaching, the empire of consulting that you're more than capable of doing. And so we'd like to invite you to write again to Lead Talk Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Again, a team member is going to reach out to you and help you schedule a call so that we get to understand what you're struggling with. Because this is important, because we provide opportunities to work with you one on one, or we can work with you in a group session, in a group setting, depending on what works best for you, so that we can start with you right where you are. Because it is in our interest to meet you at your point. Maybe already you have a product, but you're afraid of sales. Then we will design a program for you. Maybe you are not sure your niche is, so we'll take the long route with you. Or you have a product, you know what you offer, but you suck at marketing. Maybe we'll help you with marketing and branding yourself. Or you have a small coaching limping business. Then we help you to establish the business and scale the business. So we can help you in different areas. And so that's why it's important you reach out to us so that we can help you. And so one of the things, as we come to the end, I would like to thank, first of all, my co-host, God Shilpa,
Yes.
for
Thank you
this
so much.
beautiful session, for sharing our experiences and your insight, the things that we believe over the years we helped us to be where we are, and really agreeing together that okay, why don't we spill some beans, right? So that so that our audience gets to know what are the 7 steps they should take in this journey and what we can do. So Coach Shilpa, take it away. What else can we say here?
Yeah, so absolutely. You have wonderfully summarized it. So in this episode, we shared with you the benefits of making transition. Why should you even consider this transition? Or
Mm,
even as we mentioned in the before, like if you're a career relauncher or if you are somebody who has to make a career change or start all over again because of a choice or by force, then why you should even consider being a coach and consultant, right? So we gave you those reasons. Go back and listen to it. Also, the key steps, as Dr. Gerald already summarized, on why step by step we keep progressing and what could be the steps which will help you get that confidence of building this progress as a coach and take that leap of faith. And how can we make your journey smoother than we had? Because if we can do that, I think that is the biggest satisfaction we could have. So we would like to thank you for your attention, but we would also like to invite you to reach out to us, because
Yes.
that's when we can help you the best, right? So go ahead, read and download all the resources we have put together. We will be bringing in more resources, but
Yes.
don't hesitate in downloading them and using it for your own self. And if
Exactly.
you're new, subscribe, download, and share the episode with your colleagues and family.
Yes.
Join us in our private leadership career transition communities and follow us on social media, because we always want to add best value to you, because we understand your journey. And reach out to us for coaching, consulting, mentoring, guest speaking needs, because we collaborating together might bring a significant change in your world as well as our world.
Oh, we love that. We love that. I love that summary. And as Coach Shilpa mentioned, do not hesitate to send us an email at leadtalkpodcast@gmail. We are here to help you navigate through your leadership journey, your career revival journey, your coaching journey, and your career transition journey. So
Yes.
let's make 2023 your best year ever,
Yes,
so that
absolutely.
you stop wandering, but
Yeah.
you start moving really in a straight line, so that you can become this person you've always dreamed about. Because we stand with you, we have had a fair share of our struggles in this journey that we've been able to make. And so we are very excited to work with you and would like to see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Yes. Bye for now.
Thank you.